Hello everybody, welcome to the ITK Soccer Show. It's the 8th of December and we're back after last week's turbulent show, especially intro. Did you get any feedback on that?
No, we either have no listeners or like us, they're dead inside. Okay. I'm hoping it's the second one.
Because you usually say it wasn't any publicity is good publicity, but like there's nothing at all back on that one. You usually get something back, you know.
Yeah. I thought it was spectacular.
If you listen back to it, the first 10 minutes are outrageously mad, but yeah,
I'm afraid
I enjoyed it.
It's the most I've laughed doing a podcast.
It was since that
or Tokyo. Input you've had on the show.
That or Tokyo Sex Well. Well, actually, no. Me and Neil had a very good conversation. Was about Van Hal last year.
Oh yeah.
John was on for about 15 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we talked about Tokyo Sex Well in our episode.
Look, I'm just here to give you guys a platform. To be honest,
Neil did watch Match Today this week.
I sure did.
For people,
I watched three football matches, and I watched Match of the Day, and yes, as much as I get in, and I watched my precious Roma highlights.
How'd they get on? Is that the Rome Lazio derby?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, they're doing well.
They are.
And no one showed up to it.
Well, this is Italian football.
No, the thing was that
that match 15 years ago,
the Mad Lads weren't going to show up, and they all agreed. And then Lazio went, we'll go. So like the Lazio fans were there.
Yeah,
but the Roma fans.
Well, Lazio were at home.
They were.
So
that would usually happen. Okay, right, let's get into it. We've got news, Premier League, Champions League teaser and all this stuff. So we'll start off with news. Sepp Blatter's appeal against his 6-year ban from any activities within football was rejected.
But why is this man not in jail yet? Like, that's what I want to know. If he's not...
Shame.
But...
I don't know.
He's too old to go to jail. He's like
Jimmy Snuka. Jimmy Snuka's... he's got 4 months to live. He's dying.
Sepp Blatter's like a washed up whale.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sepp Blatter pulled the same stuff as Snuka, sending a video in instead of being there in person, just going, "I crazy,
I murdered."
But no, but like, how is he not? Like, surely that's the next stage now, you know?
Snuka or Blatter?
The FBI haven't.
Snuka's next stage is death.
The FBI haven't put anybody from FIFA into custody yet. So.
They're still preparing that case, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Platini now, he'll be done as well, because his one wasn't reversed either, but Blatter's a big one. I'm very upset with Platini, because like, you know, he's got a hat-trick in the European Cup final. Probably France's best player, bar Zidane.
Are you going to get the hashtag remember the footballer going? Like hashtag remember the wrestler for Benoit? We have to separate their professional lives and their personal lives.
No, I'm just saying for what happened though.
He brought in the big Euros that got Ireland there, which made us all have a lovely time. So
I had a great week. You had a good 2 days.
Indirectly, right?
No, talk to me.
Indirectly, his shit really hasn't affected you, but directly, his good shit has. So you shouldn't. There's no reason to feel bad about Platini. You should still have him as a good man. Platini.
Good man. Good Platini play.
There's a fella on Off the Ball last night, a French guy who has been following, funnily enough, who's been following the Sepp Blatter thing for, not just Sepp Blatter thing, but corruption in FIFA for years. And it was an excellent interview. And he says that there was a lot of good eggs there when a lot of the stuff was going down, but the people that have been put into power since the bad eggs were taken away are kind of as inept, but in a different way, in the sense that they're not corrupt. But like, there's a female from the UN who has a huge director's role now, and supposedly she knows absolutely nothing about football.
Yeah, it's madness.
So he's saying that the idea of things improving is less likely.
Yeah, wasn't there the thing put through yesterday that they want to have like a 64 team World Cup or something?
There was indeed.
And just like 16 groups, two teams.
Yeah, it's just like, it's that's what it is. You know, more teams is more money. That's as simple as that. More fans flying in, a longer tournament. It's crazy.
That's true.
It does devalue the tournament a lot, though.
Oh God, yeah.
Like Euros until this year, I'd say like there was a few teams who shouldn't really been there, you know, who were probably out of their depth. But like the Euros gone before, there was no bad teams because it was only 16, and that in theory should be the 16 top teams of Europe.
We were there.
Well, in theory, actually, the top 16 rated countries of 2012 were actually of Europe were in the Euros. So actually, it was actually correctly, but look, obviously that went on was a disaster. But usually, there's never really a whipping boy in a group in Euros, but there is now. So.
Correct. Onto more sordid affairs. Cellino of Leeds fame has been banned for 18 months, Dan, I think, because it's not written in front of me.
Yeah, no, it is. It was actually announced after I printed off the script.
Okay.
It'll mean absolutely.
This is harkening back to the Ross Barkley Fulham transfer. This is
Ross McCormick.
Sorry, Ross McCormick. The Fulham transfer that.
As
it was 12 million. Like I could have told you it was dodgy.
Yeah,
it wasn't. No, it wasn't that. It was the payment. I don't know what's going on.
What did he do? What did he do?
There was an unlicensed agent that got a bung.
Okay,
and
he did
banned for 18 months because of it. But Callum Chambers from Middlesbrough to Arsenal was the exact same thing. They got a slap on the wrist. Brighton bought Dale Stevens, given the exact same thing. Nothing given.
Well, Dan, I wouldn't look at this. The FA looking at Leeds. Like Cellino has roughly 37 charges at this point. Like, isn't he not allowed to manage own the club anymore? And he still does.
He's allowed to own it.
I just like how he gave the excuse that Rikishi did for knocking over Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, it's like, I did it for the Rock. What I did for Leeds United. Like,
he did it for the Leeds.
But he's saying he didn't do anything wrong. He said he didn't.
He would.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's going to appeal it anyway. But I don't know. Like, I don't understand though why he's been given an 18-month ban for this though.
Why?
Well, you don't really see this happen ever.
Well, you see, thing is, Dan, I think the way that the FA are working now is things are respective, so or retrospective in the sense that, like, Aguero, we'll talk about it, is getting a 4-match ban, but it's because he already had something else hanging over his head from the FA. So maybe just because this is the one thing they can definitely nail Cellino on, they're like,
well, they are out to get him because he did get a loophole to get into the club.
Sure.
And like, I've been a bit critical of him, but to be fair, he's not our worst owner we've ever had. I just can't hack the madness of him, but I'll be sad to see him go. He will sell. He's going to be selling the club probably in the next week or two to another Italian guy. But I'd rather know who I'm dealing with in Cellino, because Cellino's put more money into the club than any owner we've had in the last decade, and he's got rid of the debt. So, and we're fourth in the league.
Dan, yeah, I honestly think it's like Stockholm syndrome. I honestly think he is awful. Like, he's not, it's been a while, but the entire first year of the show was just like a weekly what are Leeds up to. Like, we gave you your own little Leeds corner because every week they're in the news. And I know, like, every team does this when their team is doing well. You know, you look past all the problems.
Never got to do my Hockaday song that I wrote for our Leeds section back in our first series because.
He didn't last very long.
And it was really good. It was to the tune of Happy Days.
That was my song.
Yeah, but what are you talking about?
Oh, you're supposed to edit or something, was it?
No, I literally wrote an entire song about it.
Oh, very good.
How do you have glitter on your nose?
I was glitter everywhere. I was tidying up the Christmas tree, and my nose was very big, so it's probably the first thing I was going to get attacked. So I think it was Sunday, Monday, Hockaday.
Monday, Tuesday, Hockaday.
Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, Hockaday. What a day, or what a guy, Hockaday. Oh, I can't remember it.
Something like that.
These days are ours. Going to win the league. No, we're not. We're Leeds. These days are ours. You're mine. Oh, fuck. It was good, though. That was definitely the first line.
We'll put the segment for next week.
You know, Sad
Thumb. He got sacked manager was Reading there 2 years ago, a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
No, I just think that, you know, he's done some bad things, but I'm telling you, the worst owners we ever had was our previous owners or Ken Bates. I'm sorry.
Which time?
The GFH owners, the guys we bought the club.
No, I mean, like, Ken Bates. Which time that he owned you was he?
Well, he sold the club to himself. After, like, he sold the club to himself. Like, can you believe that? He wasn't. They were in administration and relegated to League One, and it's like, oh yeah, we've no owner. And then Ken Bates sold a consortium to himself.
To himself,
famous consortium. So he sold it for £1 to himself.
Okay,
so Cellino's not the worst owner ever, and I'll be actually sorry to see him go. First of all, for his hilariousness, and he's done more good things than any other owner has done, for ages with us, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
Not in the eyes of the FA, though.
Can we just
fuck the FA?
Can we record like the last few minutes we've done, and then just in like New Year's Day when Gary Monk has like drawn or lost the last few matches and he's sacked, and they bring back the Sad Thumb or Ken Bates as like assistant manager. And then just have Dan going, it's worst thing that ever happened to the club.
But that would be, yeah, but he hasn't done it though, has he? In fact, he's appointed him. He appointed him as manager. So you can only cover what's happening at the moment. And we're highest position we've been in since 2010 when we had Simon Grayson and that really good team.
Does it not though say that the success since Cellino became the owner is more success when he's less involved? Which would
but if you look at the last 7 months, there's been nothing. He hasn't been interfering in managerial thing or anything like that. He hasn't been buying players or anything. Managers got on with it. Cellino's doing very good work with the debt and everything. We're actually debt free now in terms of like.
Is he really? Yes. Is he really?
What?
Is he really doing good work with the debt? I didn't.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't know how much.
No. He's cut down the debt a lot, and we had massive operating costs. He's got rid of all that stuff. He's done good things. He's done some bad things, yeah, but he's not as bad as some of the owners. Now, if he was to sack Monk, that would be terrible. But he's a nut job, but he's my nut job. You know what I mean? Unless we get an actual sugar daddy in who's going to pump fucking tens of millions into transfers every year.
Yes,
I'm happy just to keep him there as long as he doesn't interfere with the running of the actual football.
Sure thing.
Leave him do the club.
Any interesting draws in the FA Cup round 3?
No.
I was just like,
you got some shit, wasn't it?
Somebody from it wasn't Ipswich. Who was it?
Northampton or something, was it?
Something
Northampton.
like that.
Again? Oh, they beat you before, didn't they?
I have no idea.
The Hodge.
Oh, the Hodge. The only funny bit was Stephen Gerrard and Ian Wright were doing it.
Oh dear!
And then when Ian Wright picked out the Northampton for Liverpool, like Gerrard gave him like a little hug. It's like, cheers for that.
Oh, Gerrard.
Reading got Man United away, so Yap Stam going back to Old Trafford. That'd be.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Something there.
Anything else of note?
I think Arsenal got Preston. That could be a tricky one.
There's nothing. There was no big Premier League versus Premier League.
I think there's one Premier League, and it's West Ham against someone like that.
Swansea or something.
It was Hull Swansea.
There we go.
I think so. That's a lovely game to watch.
Sanchez has been all over the news. He's one of the most informed guys in the world. We'll talk about his outrageous, never before seen goal that happened at the weekend. But before we do, we've talked several times about the fact that he's been stalling on renewing his contract, and that's been the case for the last 6 months. He's 18 months left on it as of this January. Within the last 2 days, he's been heavily linked with Chelsea and linked with China. Ozil is in the same boat. Wenger said that, look, if he doesn't sign, there's nothing we can do. About maybe 2 or 3 months ago, things were looking good, and the reports were that it was almost a done deal for both of them. The fact that they haven't signed anything by now. So the issue is basically, since Sanchez's run of form, and I guess Ozil's form with assists wise, at least last season, and he's still been in good form this year, although not quite the same.
He now has more goals for Arsenal than he ever had for Real Madrid.
Yeah, but his goal scoring has gone up. So he had a great year as assist. Goal scoring has gone up this year. Sanchez is their MVP. I guess the issue is that they feel they can push this contract for more cash.
Well, I think first of all, I think they're both looking for about 300 grand a week, and Arsenal will not break.
Yeah, they want their Brexit money.
They won't break the bank for it.
Hold on a second. So you guys have been ignoring my great stories about FIFA because you were drinking this shit that you've just handed me.
It's the most horrific thing I've ever drunk.
What is this? Okay. So, okay.
I had a picture of a devil on it. I assumed it'd be delicious.
Okay.
And nutritious.
It's a double IPA. Okay. Let's give it a go.
It's horrible. It's really bad.
I like it. It's growing on me. It's putting hairs on my chest.
You've got a bit too.
That actually legitimately tastes like disinfectant.
It's the worst drink I've ever had.
Cleaning out the
tastes like hospital.
I had a tough weekend.
It does. It tastes like hospital smells.
Something like this. It's lovely stuff.
What's the name of it?
Stone. What is it?
Champion.
It's actually called. I think it's called Ruination. Ruination.
Okay.
Well, Sanchez. I think they're both looking for about 300 grand a week.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, I think they can only afford one. I'd keep Sanchez. I'd sell Ozil if you push me to it.
Sorry, stop right there. They can only Mojo Raleigh. They can only afford one. Can't be true. Arsenal are the
so much
Arsenal are the
but you know what they're like.
Scrooge McDuck.
Yes, I know. But that's what they're saying. That they're only going to sponsor one.
What are they going to do? Spend the money on someone else? Like,
well, it doesn't look very good for what Wenger. It doesn't look very good what Wenger said as well. That there's offers there for him, but why would he want to go to China? And if he doesn't sign a contract, there's nothing I can do about it. We're going to offer our final offer, and that's all we're not going to go any higher. I think these guys should be. I think I said it on the show last week that these guys should be tied down to the biggest deals they could ever be given, because first of all, keeps the prestige of the club up. The fans are already very close to completely turning on Wenger. Like it is. Well,
they shouldn't be really, but okay.
But it is clearly evident that a major part of the fans want him gone. If they don't tie down Sanchez and Ozil, and if they even go in a press conference go, we've pretty much used... Look, I don't care how... Look, if they're only giving this money out, I don't agree with it. But if that's what they're doing in the budget, they shouldn't buy anyone then in the summer. And if they just tie these guys down to big, long, dirty, fat contracts, keep them ahead of buying anyone else because they're that important to the team.
It's outrageous.
They're not going to buy anyone for 40
million. I think so. I think if you put... how old are these guys now?
So they're about 28, both of them.
They're both in the 27-28 bracket.
Peak form.
I'd imagine what's going to happen is they're going to give them the deals they want in the summer to stop people getting upset about
this will change. But what Dan is saying is everything Dan is saying is completely true. But the reason that it's, I guess, such a big news story is because it changes the ethos of the club. Like Wenger was the ultimate, bring them up from youth, scout them young kind of guy, never changes philosophy, doesn't buy big players usually, and doesn't give in to kind of these kind of demands. But if there's ever a chance to change that philosopy, it's now. For all the reasons you just said.
He has to. He should sacrifice, say if it was a chunk of 20, 30 million in next summer's budget.
Yeah.
He should do that because they're so important to keep the prestige of the club up and everything, and just keep the good factor going. How many times have we seen Arsenal let their players, their best player, not just a random player, get into 18 months of the contract? Van Persie did it. I think Fabregas might have done it. Nasri did it. You go through all those years when he just moved to Emirates. Every fucking year there was a player leaving in 18 months. No other club in the world allows that to happen. Once they get into 2 years, well, maybe Liverpool do, but also being very unprofessional. But you know what I mean? You should not allow that to happen. Once it gets to under 2 years.
Yep.
I think they'll do it. But like I said,
I don't.
I don't. I think they'll keep one.
I think they'll keep all.
And he says they're not going to sell them in the summer, so they potentially could lose both for free. You have to cash in at least one. Ozil is flirting with Madrid, and they want to get rid of James Rodriguez, so there is a spot there for him.
No, obviously, if it came to next summer. Not next summer, but the summer after even. And Sanchez was on the free. It's a different story. But this whole Chelsea link, a lot of people are reporting it today. There's no way that Arsenal would actually ever be able to sell to Chelsea, though, in this kind of respect.
They sold to Man City numerous times.
I know. I guess it's a little different, isn't it?
He pissed Van Persie to Man United. He won them the league.
Understand that.
He gave Fabregas, who had first refusal, back to Arsenal.
It's more the London.
To Chelsea.
To be fair, the Van Persie deal was arguably a good one because didn't they get someone big as well, and then
they replaced him with Giroud.
And how is the Van Persie deal a good one?
Because Van Persie lasted one season.
He won in the league.
Season for
he won in the league.
He was not going to win the league for Arsenal.
How many times did Man United win the league after Van Persie left Arsenal?
Once.
How many times did Arsenal win the league after Van Persie left Arsenal?
Well, including this season.
Okay, so the point is, it's definitely not a good move.
They've only finished ahead of Arsenal once.
Who? United?
Man United since.
Yeah,
but that's
so good deal.
Oh right, okay, we need to move on. El Clasico was not really great. Suarez scored a header in the first half, and then Ramos got an injury time header to level it up. The best thing about this game was the video that was released a couple of days ago. Somebody decided that'd be a good idea to film Shakira for the entire 90 minutes, and they edited together her most emotional outbursts. This woman loves football more than most people I've ever seen.
Was it like the player cam, except it was fan cam? So it was 90 minutes of Shakira.
Yes, but just somebody just did it. Shakira, of course,
Shakira.
She was losing her mind.
I didn't know she loved football. I know she's married Mrs. PK.
Yeah, maybe she, but she said American, so there's a chance anyway. But maybe it's only since she got with PK that she got into it. But she was, wow. So
that was better than the match because the match wasn't great.
The match wasn't
great.
It
wasn't until Iniesta came on where Barca really took control, and they should. Barca missed two. Neymar's chance, I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't see any of this.
I thought Madrid were better in the first half.
I thought Madrid. I was at my sister's wedding and didn't see a lot of football.
Madrid.
But I watched much of the day.
Good man.
Madrid did really well first half containing them, but then Suarez scored a goal. They brought it Iniesta in his first game back in 3 months or something. They started to play football. Barca. They looked a completely different animal.
Yep.
Him on the field, and Neymar missed an absolute sitter. Messi should have probably scored as well. And they just caught with a set piece last minute. Ramos again with these last minute headers.
Ramos loves a big goal, doesn't he?
He's great for them, but
he sure does.
I think that could be the league nearly gone for Barca now. So maybe they'll concentrate on the Champions League. There is a lot of football, but Zidane is unbeaten now in 33 games, and to be fair, they're not playing brilliantly in Madrid, but they're just being so professional, and it's so weird for Madrid like that. But I'd like to think though that with Iniesta back, maybe Barca can push on because he's so important to them. Neymar, Suarez, and Messi have scored like so little goals, especially Suarez and Neymar. Their goal ratio per game now is like it used to be over one a game. Now it's like 0.4.
Have they not been like all three of them at different times have been missing though? Like
Neymar hasn't scored in 9 games.
But the amount of times that okay,
and he's got 4 yellow cards in that 9 games.
But the amount of time that the three of them have played together has been significantly less than usual over the last few months.
But I'd say they're exhausted. Like you have to remember, like
they do a lot of the
Copa America.
Copa America. Neymar went to the Olympics. Suarez has never played this much football, and you have to. Barcelona just play loads.
He's getting old.
Barcelona played a random friendly against Liverpool at Wembley for no reason at all.
They sure did.
It's far too much football.
Okay, before we get into the Premier League results, what was the crack with this? Is Joey Barton trying to get back into Burnley? Story.
Is he?
Supposedly.
Didn't hear that.
Okay, right. Anyway, moving on.
Giving out about Steven Gerrard on the radio yesterday.
Yeah, saying that he doesn't think he'd be a good coach.
I agree with that.
But
then again,
is the man not innocent until proven guilty, John?
It was a Sid Lowe wrote a piece there about what Zidane is doing at Madrid. And it's like it's not that he's a good coach; it's that like he just organizes, like he doesn't do anything. He doesn't give tactics or anything. It's just such good players. That they just needed someone.
Well,
that
all he needs to do is control the egos at Madrid.
Exactly, and
really the
because
thing.
he has everything. Like Zidane has done everything. They listen and respect him. Where it's on like
Rafa.
Because what happened to Madrid apparently was Mourinho was so strict that Ancelotti came in and they got all relaxed, and then they got like too relaxed, and then Rafa came in, and Rafa in his entire career can't control egos of people who've won everything. So like, although I say sort out the defense, then Zidane came in and was able to do that. But apparently that's what's happening with Bayern as well. That Pep was so strict,
and then Ancelotti came on.
Like, here lads, you can have your chips that Guardiola said.
Yeah, you can get your chips.
Throw a bit of ketchup on there. Go nuts, and now they're actually.
Is that maybe when why Pep has only lasted 3-4 years of the job? Maybe he just feels that the players won't keep the level of intensity on and off the field up. Well, maybe that's why he might leave, because he was at Barca for 4 full seasons and he was only at Bayern for 3, I believe. Yeah. So maybe is that a thing? Maybe that we're looking at, that maybe he's before the players kind of just can't take it anymore, like what Ferguson did. Ferguson could probably see that team.
Well, Ferguson replaced his assistant manager because that's
to be fair, 95% of great to quote unquote world class managers aren't averaging more than 5 years at a club in the last decade. So,
but the only reason why he's going is like I just feel he's looking for a new challenge.
And I'm sure that's what they all say.
Like Bar Wenger, like there's no one, like who's in there long. Any big club. Simeone is the
only one I swear.
5 years, 6 years, maybe
6, I think.
So and he's probably only got 1.5 years left, I'd say.
Okay, a game that was great was one that preceded El Clasico, and this was City and Chelsea. City were phenomenal in the first half. De Bruyne missed an insane chance in the second. The first goal conceded by Chelsea was an own goal, though, from Gary Cahill. And then the second half, Pedro came off for Willian, and goals by Willian, Costa and Hazard sealed the deal. I've been saying every week that I just can't see Chelsea not winning the league, but in a game like this, City could have done them, but they just didn't finish.
They should have. They should have been 3-0 up.
What was mad about this match was all 3 of Chelsea's goals looked like they came on the counter-attack.
They did.
They were.
But like, why was every man forward for Costa's goal?
They were playing. They matched them 3 at the back, and then
they took Stones off.
They took Stones off and went forward, but like City just can't defend anything.
City are weird.
They're one of the worst.
That Willian goal, like.
Bravo's having a nightmare. He's having a nightmare.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad goalkeeping this week in the Premiership, but Bravo just like.
But the Willian goal, why didn't
it's so easy.
Could he not just looking at it from behind the goalie, or just looking at it normally? I always say when a goal just goes in and it doesn't look right, what's the keeper doing? Why didn't he just dive or put his hand out?
Yeah,
because I think he would have got something on it. It was a good shot. We know Willian's got great technique, especially kind of coming on that right and just pinging it into the corner. But it wasn't like unsavable. Like he really should be saving that. And I'm not really comparing him and Joe Hart, but I actually think Joe Hart probably would have saved it.
Again, going back to what I said last week, I think Barca keepers are found out because they just have, so much possession, they don't get challenged. I don't think Bravo's a great keeper.
But like, there's a lot of people coming out like on how like John Jaws and Eamon Duffy were going nuts about, the passing at the back, like that was the problem. I was like, no, like City could have won this match. Like De Bruyne, a lot of people are giving out that he missed an open goal, but it was a tougher chance than
it was a tougher chance people were getting.
It was tougher.
If he kept going, he probably would have died.
Yeah,
he was literally heading head first into the post.
And Luiz should have been sent off in the first half. Absolutely,
yes.
The little nudge.
He body checked Aguero.
Yeah.
He knew. He slyly did it. He knew where he was, but he didn't look. But he knew exactly what he was doing. It should have been a red. Referee bottled it.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I thought City were really unlucky in the game. Like they went 1-0 up. I thought they'll keep going and they'll get a goal. But then a bad mistake. They lose the ball, lose the ball again, counter. Cess ball for the Costa goal was insane. Like that's what you call a long pass now, not like Pogba's one 2 weeks before.
Can't they both be good?
No, only one.
Only one.
At the end of the season, we'll, like with all our awards, we'll also do long ball
assist award.
And I'll still pick Pogba.
Good man.
Because
so I'll get the final
Costa shouldn't have scored if there was in any way decent defense.
Yeah.
But like City, they can't get it right in ball penalty boxes this season. I don't know what it is. And a back three of what was it for a while? Otamendi, Stones, and Kolarov. Bravo and got it's nervous. It's really nervous. And then like they changed to a 4, but bring Clichy on. Sané was playing left wing back. It was just
Sané is not a wing back.
It's acting kind of like it's weird. Like I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get Silva, Aguero, and De Bruyne, his 3 best players, into the game by playing them centrally, and that gives 4 behind them and by dropping a defender. I can see exactly what he's trying to do by giving them that free role, but you're eliminating so much of the back. And I think without company, I'm sorry, he broke down again 2 weeks ago. They've no. Like I think Otamendi actually could be okay if he's got someone to hold his hand and tell him what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Otamendi can't lead a defense.
Why did City make so many changes for this match? It seems strange. Like he'd left
he's always tinkering.
He's always tinkering, but he left Gundogan and Stones on his bench, and I know because I'd both in my fantasy team. No, I mean the last 4 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Or so, and then this week in the biggest game they've had all season, he brings them on.
Yaya should have started, man.
Arguably,
but Sterling was injured, wasn't he?
Yeah, but Yaya should have started.
Maybe.
Let's get to the end, shall we? So, in injury time, when the game is already long gone.
Before you get onto this, I hadn't seen this match, as I said earlier, at my sister's wedding. So when I was listening, I was in work and I hadn't seen anything yet, and I was listening to it must have been Second Captains or Football Weekly, and so they'd mentioned the Aguero red card. So I was like, oh, I wonder how bad it was. So I googled it. I googled Aguero tackle on Luiz, and I saw this video. And it was a montage of all the terrible tackles Aguero's done on him. Like there's one where Aguero gives him like Luiz is on the floor. Like
he kicked him, yeah.
You know that episode of The Simpsons where Bart has a massive tomato and Principal Skinner bends over, spinning his arse in the air. That is literally the position David Luiz is in, and Aguero just full on drop kicks right into his arse. Like, but the tackle was horrific. But what I know we'll move on to it. What I do sort of like is like I love battles like I'm gonna like. 2 players that one just has his number. I remember like it was Ivanovic with Suarez.
Yeah.
Every time he played, Ivanovic just knew how to play. Like
or Torres and Vidic.
Well, that's the opposite side of the spectrum.
Torres is the only one who could actually just
make him look silly,
like a fool.
Yeah. Just like and then Luiz, I'd never even thought of it. Luiz and Aguero in this match, like arguably. I think there wasn't enough in it to send Luiz off.
The first one. The one the first half. Okay.
I don't think so. But this one was, you can go on.
Yeah, so we also...
talking about the respective action, though. Remember I said about Cellino, the multiple offences. You're saying Aguero's getting 4 games. He's lucky to get 4. Like, that was honestly one of the worst tackles I've seen in a long time.
Was it worse than Fellaini's?
What one was that? Oh, the one last week. Oh, yeah, it was worse than that.
Okay.
Like, no, Aguero...
Aguero wanted to break his leg there, yeah.
He wanted to actually hurt him.
No, I'm just asking you thought. No, the Aguero one was insane. It was a drop kick. It was a drop kick to the calf.
But he can't. No, exactly about the knee.
And Luiz's foot was stuck in the ground as well, so he's very lucky that.
But like,
so Luiz went down.
He should be getting more than a 4-game ban because that is like I hate this stupid thing when the ref sees it and does something. Why can't they change his fucking rules and go, look here, we can't accept that
video replay.
No, but just fucking go and like the referee has a report and go, I gave him a red, but he should be given more punishment or something like that. It's ridiculous. Or if a referee gives a yellow and then retrospectively go, he can't deal with that because he's already seen it. It should be that should be a 6 or 7 game ban.
Do you think Aguero just wanted Christmas off?
Do you think he's a worse player under Pep because he fucking is? He's not playing.
I don't think Pep knows how to play with real centre forwards. Like he bought the best one.
Well, he had Lewandowski last year.
Yeah, I know, and like they didn't like they won the league comfortably enough because Dortmund were in transition, and there's no other competition there is this year.
Yeah, it's different.
And then they didn't win the Champions League, and then he
put Henri out in the wing.
He put
Villa out in the
Villa,
wing,
like who I thought was literally the best striker in the world
at that time. He probably was,
and he turned him into a winger. Like, and it helped obviously because
Ibrahimovic
they had Messi.
is the big one.
He just
the only time that Ibrahimovic didn't look like an absolute and really in reality, I know he's a freak, and at this like he's playing like he shouldn't play at this age, but in terms of peak years, traditional peak years for a striker, that should have been Ibra at Barca, with a supporting role of amazing passers behind him. And
well, that was the plan.
It didn't. Yeah, but like the point is, I think that's a really good shout about Pep and conventional.
Plus, there was the match when they played Barcelona this year, and he started a front three of Silva, Sterling, and De Bruyne.
Yeah, De Bruyne was false nine.
Yeah, and I think there was a Premier League match in the Premier League. Like you'll see that you need a goal scorer. You know, Kane, and Costa and Aguero for City, they get you the points, so he's going to need to play him. But I could easily see Aguero leaving in the summer.
I don't think he'll leave, but I think Pep has to work something out there because he's nowhere near the player he was under Pellegrini, and I think maybe he's trying to do too much passing and maybe trying to give it to De Bruyne or Silva more. Maybe that could be frustrating Aguero. I don't know what it is, but he doesn't look the player he is, and like, you know, it's like everyone in fantasy, you just captain Aguero, that's all you do. It's kind of getting to the stage now. It's like, yeah, actually, you could probably nearly do without him. It's getting to that stage where you'd think maybe there's better options out there. Like Costa's a better centre forward at the moment.
For sure, he's the best in the league.
Yeah.
So then, anyway, after Aguero got sent off, Fernandinho got really upset with Cesc and grabbed him by the neck and pushed him over the dashboard.
Fair though, Cesc gave him a slight little snack, and I hope something will be done about that as well, because he did. Fernandinho, like City completely lost the plot, and the indiscipline in that team would be worrying.
Fernandinho was also pushing one of his own coaches, like whatever.
It was an absolute fracas. It was like a Clasico 4 years ago.
It was almost like that, but I can't believe what happened.
Why did Pep not shake Cesc's hand?
Apparently, there's a bit of heat. All right, that when they bought him back in 2011. It was Laporta who kind of had a pre-agreement with them, and he was the outgoing president, and apparently he didn't want him. He fancied Thiago more, and he said he didn't really want him. And I think it was kind of like that Robbie Keane situation at Liverpool, where he was like, they had Ngog and Torres, and he wanted Gareth Barry. Here's Robbie Keane. He's like, I don't want Robbie Keane. And I think it was kind of like a present. He got him Villa and Cesc in the space of 12 months. Yeah. Villa is happy to replace Henry, but he got Cesc in where he probably thought Thiago was a better prospect, or he saw maybe younger players coming through that maybe he could work with more. And I think maybe it could be a bit of resentment on that, but like, he should have shook his hand though, because like the man did score in El Clasico for him. He did win him the Spanish Cup. He did play him up front for a while and stuff.
It has to be more than that.
I think there's something else that's going on there, but that is an element to it anyway.
There is a Guardiola book once a year at this rate, so we're sure to find it out. Like,
I wonder if someone should ask Cesc Fabregas about it, or maybe he didn't like the way Cesc behaved to Fernandinho when he saw it, or maybe he just didn't like that.
I don't think like people hold grudges like that. We'll see. Well, maybe we'll never know. Palace, after the insanity that Bob Bradley invoked on them last weekend, Coach Bradley were able to beat Southampton 3-0, their best result of the season so
Keeper
far.
Mistake number 2, whatever. This, I thought was an absolute banker for Southampton. You know what I mean? If I was doing last man standing, Palace had lost their last few games. Pardew can't, in like his history, arrest a slump, and 2 awful Southampton mistakes. Then they went 2-0 down, and similar to the West Brom Watford game, once it was 2-0, the game was over. Like, Southampton have been alright this year, but they're not turning around that. And then I think Benteke got 2. He scored from the first mistake, and then there was an awful corner that just like similar to the game before, the Bob Bradley madness game. It was just a corner that just went straight through the 6-yard box, and I think it was Tompkins, was it? Tompkins, I think, scored the second. But
yeah,
Southampton have Shane Long up front and can't score.
Speaking of Coach Bradley, he visited Go On You Spurs. He visited White Hart Lane, and he left with a big red arse.
People want him sacked already. Swansea fans have already gone like they're gone. No, he's gone.
Isn't that football?
They are very, very bad. Swansea fans are also turning on the board, but Swansea were awful. I watched this game. Now, granted, the first goal was a penalty because of a filthy Ali dive.
I can't stand that fella. Wow. He's the most overrated player in the league.
We had one good year, and there was all that sort of stuff like I don't know, like
it was more like an okay 6
getting
months.
Sent off more times than not.
Yeah, but he got a lot of important goals. They weren't great. Ericsson seems to be scoring a lot lately. I think he got a brace in this match. Son's goal was incredible, and Harry Kane got a few decent things. Sissoko got an assist. Spurs were
easy
fine.
Going without like Swansea were really, really bad, and they've conceded 9 goals now in 2 games.
Swansea,
which is really that is really
Swansea
bad.
were the second worst team that day. I was going to say West Ham were the worst, but Swansea are very bad, and I have to say that I wouldn't be shocked if Bradley got sacked, and they should have kept Beagle.
They should have kept Monk. It all started when they sacked Monk.
Monk was getting them relegated. Would you relax? He's a good championship manager, that monkey boy.
Never sacked Laudrup.
He was getting them relegated. He was though.
He was in. He was in an awful run.
He finished 7th the year before. He hadn't won 6 games, and then it's like, we better sack him.
I don't know.
And they've won I'd say about 7 games since they've sacked him.
Never should
in a year. They've won about 6 or 7 games in a year without him.
Stoke hosting Burnley with Walters getting on score sheet was 2-0.
What a goal by Walters!
Did he mean it? I don't know if he did it or not. I don't think a fat pub player like him.
Did he mean it? Did he mean it more or less than Origi last week, or against Leeds?
I think the way he hit it.
The goal against Leeds, he meant.
Yes,
Sunderland. You're thinking
Origi. Oh yeah, Sunderland. Sorry.
I think Origi meant that one more than that. I just think Walters was helping it on. I honestly don't think
there's lovely skill between was it Juff and Shaqiri for the Walters goal.
Shack attack, get him fit is so we're looking. They're an entertaining team. Money Ace's goal. He started the move. Yeah, but he's a chance. Or he should have given away a penalty.
They have Arsenal this weekend. You fancy? At home, it's probably still an Arsenal.
I just think you have 2 teams who take each other
Stoke
on.
Beating Arsenal would give me great joy.
Stoke haven't beaten Arsenal. I don't think they've even got a point at the Emirates.
I know.
As Jamie Carragher said, going on to this in the next match, Leicester City are going to be the champions that got relegated. That's going to be what they wouldn't surprise me.
Like
they're awful
badly.
They created
we can talk now about the Champions League as well. Like they finished top, but they went to Porto and they lost 5-0.
They did play no one,
but they're just their form is unreal.
People actually are wanting Ranieri sack now. It's like
they'll get the Hodge in.
So fickle.
It's mental though, because I'd like to think, we all like from the outside think that like he won the league with Leicester, but if Klopp wins the Premier League with Liverpool, and the next year we're in an awful form in the league, I would honestly be the same.
That's what happened with Klopp.
I'd be terrified for my club. Like
that's what happened with Klopp at Borussia Dortmund last year. Remember they were 16th or 17th in the Bundesliga. Remember Hummels and I think it was Bentner went up to the fans, the yellow wall they call it.
Yep.
And they're like, we don't know what's going on. We just can't play. And the fans were giving them grief. But to be fair to them, like they went to balls and actually tried to talk to them. But Klopp, like it was just weird the way it just ended. But like that was like they finished. I think it was 10th or something that year in the end.
But
they were fine. But like this Leicester team, they're getting found out, and the players like I can tell you what, Kasper Schmeichel is their most valuable player, and there's a goalkeeper you guys should be going for.
Yeah.
Like even look at Mahrez, right? I'm just saying Mahrez, right? For example, I hadn't heard of him really until Leicester's good run at the end of 14-15 season, right?
Like everybody else.
Yeah, right.
Well, I followed the French.
Shit.
So no one really heard of him or what he could do. He's had his one good year, and he hasn't kicked on at all. Vardy, obviously, was never going to really do what he did again. But Mahrez is a lot younger, and maybe it's going to come to a thing that maybe these guys just had one season in them, and when they're confident and they're decent. But like it's kind of one of those things, if you never heard of a player and all just come good, you have to keep living that on. More likely they're going to fade back where they came from, unless they're under a top team and a top coach and someone who's going to actually nurture them and help them grow. Mahrez and Vardy, I'm just saying those in particular, needed to get out of there, because all the rest they were going to do was slump back where they were coming from, as in survive relegation. 40 points is the goal. If you can see a Mahrez now, just say Arsenal wanted him, you imagine him in that midfield, he'd be playing with better players, he'd be learning, he'd be motivated.
Sure.
I don't think Mahrez isn't motivated. Yeah, Vardy doesn't. I just think Vardy's just mentally not there.
Well, I just think
they've lost Kante and they're still playing 4-4-2, getting killed. They need to go 4-5-1.
In my opinion, the big issue is one, Kante, two, the kind of shock to the system and the euphoria that a team that were potentially written off as relegation scrappers at the start of last season, then winning the league. I think that if things don't start going your way the next season early on, the confidence hit. You know, the idea of going, it was a fluke, lads, wasn't it? Looking around, going, it was a fucking
fluke. Their captain, Wes Morgan, played for about 6 different championship teams and was on loan to teams 2 years before. Nottingham Forest didn't want him and said he wasn't that good enough for them, and they had your man, your ex-defender Jack Hobbs, playing centre half.
Great man.
That Jack Hobbs playing centre half ahead of Wes Morgan. Wes Morgan then goes to Leicester, becomes captain, and then wins the league like 2 years later. That man, like, these players weren't good enough at their respective teams. Then win the league, and it's just, it was a fluke. I don't care. It was a fluke how they did it, and it was never going to happen again. They were never going to finish in top half. I said that at the start of the year. I think I said they finished 11th. I didn't think they'd get relegated, but they're in serious trouble. And I always say, get your best players out there in a crisis. But your best players, when they're not trying or it's not working, I change formation. I go one up front. I leave your man Slimani up front by himself. I drop Akazaki actually back into midfield because at least he'll run and try and he'll get the crowd going. And then I'd play 2 fast wingers like Schlupp and Gray. Musa.
Thank you.
Wherever you want. Musa. And just go three tight in midfield and go back to bases. Be a tough team to beat and hit them on the break. Don't even, if you have the ball, kick it back to them, because that's what they were good at last year. Hitting teams in the break.
There's also the new rules I think are really affecting. Like Hoot and Morgan were very handsy defenders, and they can't do that anymore. So they're getting their.
Well, Stoke were getting caught out with that as well.
Exactly, and they're giving away a lot of things. They're just awful. Vardy and Mahrez can't do anything. The way they used to play with the pace, teams have figured that out. Going forward, they're not very good. I would probably sack Ranieri, get a manager in January, let him bring in.
I'd love to have a Leicester fan here and ask them.
What would you
Big
like?
Sam or Tony Pulis to come in?
Not be Roy Hodgson. Tony Pulis is still out.
That's your answer to everything today.
What, the Hodge?
The
Hodge.
West Brom and Watford.
Remember that Welbeck Hodge thing? Where you got Hodged? Remember the picture you put Hodge's face on Welbeck? That was the most horrific thing I've ever seen.
You just got Hodged. Yeah, it was great.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Oh, it's a Twitter handle. You just got Hodged. I'll find it on.
Okay.
I'll have it as a thumbnail.
Well, Dan will send it to me. West Brom continuing their winning ways against Watford.
They've scored more goals than Man United, I think, this year.
Sure have.
And they're ahead of them, aren't they? They're just 6th.
Yeah, West Brom.
They're doing a great job.
Like, shock start of the season, West Brom has scored more set pieces than any other team.
I don't believe it.
Well, to be fair to them, they've got Matty Phillips, who's playing really well. He still can't get in the Scottish squad, which is really weird. And big man Rondon up front.
Oh.
And they've got a solid back four, and you know, to be fair, they're doing really well. They've no injuries at the moment. They've got Brunt back, they've got Morrison back.
Score this weekend.
They've got Foster back, so they're doing really well.
West Ham and Arsenal. You think that this West Ham performance, John, was worse than Swansea's? Is it because they were at home, I suppose?
I think they're just awful. Like, it's strange because it was 1-0 up until around 70 minutes or something. Like, it's hard to, but Arsenal were like not challenged at all. Relaxing.
I don't know if you guys saw I think it was just before it went 2-0 or just after it went 2-0. Ozil had the ball and he was about 30 yards from goal, and it was pretty much 10 men behind the ball, and then I think it was Andy Carroll behind him just waiting for any breakaway. Ozil had the ball and I think Ramsey was standing beside him. Ozil had his foot on the ball for about 6 seconds and just stood there and looked around, left, he looked right, he looked back, and then he looked up again, and then he just squared it, I think, right to, I think it was Gabriel on the right.
Yeah. Just the time
like,
that was
But it was
given.
just like, you're losing at home, and just someone, just run, like, literally, the mannequin challenge, West Ham did that for the 90 minutes. I couldn't believe, I had it on a stream on my laptop while watching the Leeds game, I just had it on the floor, and I was just looking at it, I was like, Arsenal could have been 3 up in the first half. Monreal got in behind the right wing back. It was Arbeloa had a disaster when he came on. They could have got in a couple of times. It was terrible. Sanchez, I couldn't believe what I saw. And Sanchez was outstanding. Unfortunately, it was against a team who, so you can imagine, was going to get sacked.
Yeah.
Like if Bilic can't motivate a team, that's what Bilic is really good at, motivating.
Well, it's not working.
We said last week they're too good to go down, but I think they're a certain relegation scrap.
There's too. Well, I think
they're conceding so many goals. It's minus 15.
Sunderland have got themselves out of there. Sanchez was wonderful. It was one of those very much. I've described them before. Players that are just like halfway through went, actually, these lads aren't that good. And then his second goal, I thought like Randolph made a few good saves, but
Sanchez could have had 5.
He could have.
Even Chamberlain got a nice finish, but again, it was just like no one was tackling them.
No, let's talk about his last goal.
I thought first of all the first two were brilliant.
Offside.
It was offside.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it shouldn't have counted.
But
I've never seen a guy do a step over with the same foot
and then
a chip with.
I'd like to this is the first. I think this is officially the first time it's ever happened in the Premier League.
If you do that with your foot and then get it, and then I don't know how he did it with the ball rolling.
It was absolutely outrageous.
It was one of those goals that was made better by the commentary on Match of the Day. And I don't say that a lot because I was watching it today and watching it, like, made me smile because he runs through. And I don't even know who was commentating, but he was like, "Oh, the Jimmy to the dink." I was like,
"The Jimmy to the dink."
Yeah, Jimmy
to the dink.
That was Dion Pierce. He's the guy who went mad when Brady scored at the Euros. Was that guy?
Yes.
I think he's the Scouser guy.
Speaking of Scousers, Sunday.
Sorry, I don't even laugh. But this game was the most outrageous thing, and I think that's the first time as well you guys have lost a thrilling match in the last minute because usually you win them.
It's fair.
I think that's I cannot remember the last time you lost a thrilling game or didn't score in that to get a draw. I'm looking at last year like Dortmund, Arsenal, Norwich.
Yeah, it was the exact same as Dortmund.
Okay, so
except it was the other way.
I'll let you guys go mad about it. I'll just go over very briefly what happened and my chat with Dan. So Liverpool were just shellacking them for the first 20 minutes. Mane got a nice goal from an over the top pass. Then Origi scored when the keeper came out too far.
Birch had a good assist.
The thing about the angle that Origi had to score from was pretty mega. I thought it was a really good finish.
I think Origi's very good.
I think Birch underjudged Origi's pace when he tried to run out.
Yeah.
And then I thought the finish was pretty good. I don't think Liverpool played that well though. I think
so the first 20 minutes, I swear to God, it was I said to Dan, this is as high intensity as Liverpool have played in months, and Dan was like, you'll do them and stuff like that, and I said to Dan,
we both said it this week.
I said, and I texted him, I was like, I still don't feel good about it. Anyway,
John was saying, why don't you feel good? What is
due a loss?
We're due a loss. We don't play well against players. We don't play well against teams with B, starting with B. Yeah, that was it.
No, seriously, due a loss. A lot of fixtures adding up.
Most
important players missing.
I was unaware that Bournemouth had Lionel Messi on the bench with this bloke Fraser.
Oh, we'll get to
him before.
Get to Fraser.
He's 5'4". He's fucking tiny.
He's incredible.
He's Shaq.
Performance of the season.
He was on loan. He was a reserve for Ipswich last year.
Yeah. So Bournemouth equalise. Then started second half. Chan scores a great goal. I texted Dan saying, "Great to see Chan scoring consistently." I felt a little bit better at 3-1 than I did at 2-0. And then the last 15 minutes. Bournemouth just became the greatest team of all times, spearheaded by Fraser, who is literally Scotch Messi.
It was
tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
Like you could see the Liverpool who had started defending better with Matip, with him gone, and for some reason Klopp plays Lucas or whatever.
That was another reason, Dan, by the way.
But I just it could have gone either way because at 3-3, Origi had a chance at a corner.
Fur had another chance. If Fur had fucking buried his chance at Southampton and buried his chance,
I think Firmino, that was his worst game he's had for you.
Why was it? Because with Phil,
no one to play with.
No, not just that. With Phil out, he's playing out wide instead of his false nine.
Well, I think as well though,
Firmino out wide. Dan, historically, just go back and look at Firmino's. Out wide. Firmino out wide is absolutely no good.
That's when he was playing with Brendan, where he was kind of looking not great. But I think the thing is though with Liverpool. Your keeper, again, I have flagged him a few times in the show.
I think we can now officially say he is not very good.
No, to be fair to him, I don't think he's brilliant, but he still can learn and everything, but...
yeah.
I would stick with him in goal, because if Mignolet wasn't the keeper to choose before the game, you have to stick with Karius, because I can't just change in one game. But I always just thought he doesn't... I just think, you know when a ball goes into the box, and a keeper just jumps and gets it and relieves pressure. I don't think he's ever going to be that guy, or... Maybe he'll have to learn it or something. Now he's become highly rated, but
he's a young keeper playing in a league for the first time after a serious injury. He hasn't had much to do, and stuff he had. Like, granted, he was poor. Like, I hear people blaming him for 3 goals. Like, Lovren was like up there with our player of the season. Yeah. He was at fault for.
Lovren was playing everyone outside.
2 of them. He was awful. James Miller almost gave away. Firmino almost gave away a penalty.
Well, it was a penalty in the first half as well.
I was very angry. It ruined my sister's wedding.
As well, 9 times out of 10. By the way, I'd err more on the side that I'm worried about him. The goal kick last week. The fact
I think that was a.
I'm joking. The fact that his hands just never look safe. But I will say this in defence.
Yeah.
The Aki goal, right? 9 times out of 10, it doesn't bounce off the keeper's hands back into his the path of the striker.
But when you need a keeper to,
it just doesn't. Though seriously, that wasn't an anomaly.
No, I know, I do, but it's still a mistake. But like the other one was the third goal.
It wasn't a mistake.
The third goal was a big mistake.
The third goal was amazing.
Or was the third? What was the second one? The one he should have saved.
Well,
should have saved one of them.
I think it was a good strike. I think maybe if he stretched out a bit more, like I don't know. But it's one of those because I listened to Liverpool podcast and they're like it's the sort of game you feel like you lost twice because you're 3-1 up and then it looks like you're drawing and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, and then you lose.
That couldn't be put any better.
But like this keeper though, right? It's one thing about the keeper, he's so.
His keeper's fine. He's
pretty.
That's why he was bought. He's there for the L'Oreal lads. Okay, we've got a 5-year contract with them.
Lads related.
But if you look at the two, your defence was Klein, Lucas, Lovren.
Yeah, Lucas was more at fault than our keeper.
Milner, right? If you should to actually think about this, and I haven't actually ever looked at this stat. 50% of your defence are not defenders.
Yes.
And you've got the other two, Lovren and Klein. I like Klein going forward, but I don't think he's brilliant defensive. I think he get caught out a bit. And Lovren, I'm never convinced by it. I'm never going to be convinced by it. And your keeper, who doesn't seem that authoritative figure that you need in goal at the moment. Like, can you imagine like it was like a Czech or a Lloris or a Neuer, another top quality, but they just instill you with confidence. I think that's what you're missing at the back more than anything. A good leader, like if Sacco can't get into this team, he's worth a shot.
No, he's not. He's
at the moment.
A messer.
He
Klopp
is
doesn't like him,
so. 100% worth a shot.
If he's worth, I'm just saying.
If you honestly are telling me that he'd be worse than Lucas.
No, are you not worried about Andy Carroll up front next week? Because Dukara bashed your defenders around, and that's Dukara last week.
There's one reason why. It's because the most underrated centre back in the entire league is returning next week, so I don't feel bad.
No, look, it was a match that was absolutely mad. It was also, in my opinion, good management and bad management, because at half-time, Eddie Howe brought on 2 players, Fraser and Ibe, that would hit us for pace, and Klopp just, my only complaint about him is that he sits on his arse for far too long. At 3-1 he should have brought on Clavin for a striker and just sat there and enjoyed the 3-1 win, but he didn't.
He would have gone 5 at the back.
No, but Lucas can go DM his actual position, Henderson can go further forward, because Henderson actually played well. He brought on, he left Origi on when he looked exhausted.
He left Mane on after Mane got injured.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just...
Is he injured now, is he?
He's declared fit for this weekend, but whatever.
Yeah.
But I've said it, like the last 3 matches that Liverpool have had, that Klopp has not made substitutions quick enough. I can see that.
It's true.
He trusts his players to get the result. Against Sunderland it worked, against Leeds it worked. Here it didn't. You just needed some relaxation to. But again, Liverpool hadn't been playing well. As Klopp said, you lose some of these matches. It was a freak. But we talk about this match a lot. I think Liverpool.
We'll see what happens.
I think Liverpool needed it. I would have preferred the win, but they got points in the last few matches, not playing that great, and they've Matip coming back next week. I'd imagine they'll beat West Ham by a few.
Where are you guys? You're 4 points off Chelsea. 3,
4.
Yeah, you're doing very well.
And if there was one good thing to come out of this match was the return of Adam. When Adam came on, you're like, he's got something that no one in the team has. He creates space out of nowhere. He beats people with skill. He's more two-footed than anyone else in the team. And there was the biggest drop.
You got to run it for half an hour, which is good.
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest drop in form in Liverpool from they're exciting for 70 minutes and then they drop off for 20. And then there was a stark change to they're exciting for 20 minutes and they drop off for 70. Like the difference there was Lallana's injury.
Can I say though? I think that the midfield 3 that I'd like to see you guys go forward with would be Henderson, Chan, and Lallana. I think Chan.
So you're saying Windjammer needs to go?
I put him on the bench. Go, but
like,
no, I think I'd have Chan.
Well, the idea was
I think I'd have Chan. I think he provides that
was the idea. That was the idea, Dan. But the reason that it started off with Henderson, Windjammer, and Lallana is Chan was injured.
Yeah. No, I think that'll be the three I'd go with personally.
That's good to see Chan scoring goals.
It is.
It was a lovely finish.
It was actually.
He knows his finish well.
He's gotten a lot better at that. Everton and United, Ibra. The game was really all about Ibra, I suppose. Tried to kill Coleman.
Still denies and said if I probably tried to sleep.
Which is an amazing quote.
Well, he is a black belt or a fake black belt. And
he's a Steven Seagal black belt or a real black belt?
I think it's like a mixture of column A and column B.
So a purple belt. He took his goal well. That's
another keeper going nuts. Literally the
Stecklenburg is...
Yeah.
How bad is this guy?
Ibra scored a lot recently, hasn't
he? Yeah, he scored again tonight.
He scored. He's on 7 or 8 Premier League goals.
I still might be right.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
You fucking ripped me off. And then they gave away a penalty. You wrote me off. Sorry, I did say. And then last minute penalty was given away. Baines converted. Just United simply cannot win Premier League games.
Rojo should have been sent off. Again, what are all these fucking bad tackles going on?
I said this Fellaini. I said Fellaini earlier, and you said last week, and I got confused when we.
Fellaini did one last week.
Yes, but when we brought up Aguero, what I meant to say was Fellaini gave the penalty away.
Yeah,
I got confused with the Rojo tackle.
But what are all these?
Was the Rojo tackle worse than the Aguero tackle?
No, but it was a red card.
It was very bad.
But where are all these tackles not getting punished? Someone is going to break their leg, and it's going to be really bad, and some guy is going to have possibly his career ended, and it could be a fucking Sanchez, it could be a Hazard, it could be a fucking Coutinho, it could be a really good player who excites us, and actually you go laud at and go, this is great to see, and one of these guys could be out for a full season.
And Twitter was blaming Hollywood stars for these. Do you see this?
Huh?
The referee's name in this match was Steve Martin. Right, so they all start tweeting, for fuck's sake, Steve Martin. And Steve Martin, the poor lad, tweeted,
I'm sorry, I don't have a good comeback. I haven't been funny in 25 years.
Well, basically, he goes, evidently, there's someone who's a bad referee with my name, and now thousands of English who won't go see my films anymore.
Yeah.
Which, is not a loss, because he hasn't had a good film in a very long time.
Steve Martin had 4 good to all-time classic films in a row, then 2 average.
I can think of 2.
I know you're right. And then it just... It's been 25 years of nothing, maybe 30 years of nothing.
Yeah, but he likes his money.
I wish he knows.
He did. He did those bad family films. He did some did some good independent films.
Look, I'm sorry, we need to start getting a lot quicker.
Well,
we're going to run through.
These guys really should be sent off because it's getting to a bad stage now where so many tackles are going to punish. And Ibrahimovic did go for Coleman. I don't care where he fucking went on his head.
Do you really think so?
Of course he did.
Wow.
It's a shame the Everton fans are asking for their manager to get sacked because
every manager getting sacked if they don't win a few matches.
No, it's because he put up a picture of his Christmas tree, and
terrible man.
The sick bastard. His Christmas tree was red. All the decorations were red. You're fucking blue, mate. Where's the blue decorations?
I would have gotten away with that if I was
Neil's got blue in here for Everton.
Put up a photo. You could be the next Everton man.
I could be the next Everton. Wouldn't that be a shock?
Yeah, blue Santa's.
To be fair, Simon Grayson doesn't drink red wine because it reminds him of the scum, he says.
Middlesbrough and Hull, 1-0 to
Middlesbrough. Good win for Middlesbrough. Hull are still in trouble.
Okay, right, let's go through this as quick as possible. The nothing really major coming out of the Champions League things except for the announcement.
Spurs won at Wembley.
Yeah, well, Spurs won at Wembley, which guaranteed them a Europa League spot.
Woo! I think that's good for them.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to be in a tournament and try and win something?
Their team is big enough, I guess.
All that these teams like Spurs and Arsenal do, they try to do their best to get top 4, and then when they get there, they don't do anything when they get there. So
well, to be
fucking
fair,
try and win something. Try and do something.
Champions League's been terrible this year. The Europa League was good last year, so maybe that'll be it.
Yeah.
It's the most boring year at the Champions League.
Bad out tonight as well. They were unlucky actually against
bottom of their group.
Tel Aviv beat them. 2 terrible mistakes for their goals again.
Yeah.
I think there was only 1 or 2 goals they ever conceded in the whole group stage. Were actually good goals. All the goals were gifted. So
Dundalk read the Europe
4 points, but that's still an amazing achievement for them.
Well done. It's very sad. Running through it really quick, PSG drew to the regrets.
Why don't you just go through the teams who got through?
Yeah, sure. I guess the one real result that kind of stands out, we talked about the Leicester shellacking earlier, but City and Celtic drawing was weird.
Have you seen the teams Leicester can play? They have got PSG, Bayern, Madrid, Seville.
Arsenal also have Bayern again. Potentially.
Bayern tweeted them already. Will we make our trips to London already, Arsenal?
This is amazing.
Like, it's just like we draw. Every year they fucking play each other.
And
it's a shame that Seville won't be able to retain their Europa League for the 25th year in a row or something.
Also, Madrid 2-0 up, and Dortmund came back.
I thought Dortmund were really good.
Aubameyang basically tweeted, "This is fun. I'd like to go in the Bernabeu more often."
Okay, so
he promises dead granddaddy.
Okay, so in Group A, Arsenal topped their group, which actually, in retrospect, is a bad thing.
Well, I think the only thing you can do...
First time in a long time.
It's the first time since 2011 they did it, but I think the one thing you can do is top your group, and that means you've done everything you can to try to get the best draw. And if you top your group, I think that should be the goal always going into it, and that's the only way you can look at it. Because you could get any team, because there's so many teams... so good in both pots that you don't know who you're going to get. So
PSG second, Ludogorets in the Europa League
are a decent team, by the way.
Not too bad.
They are really good going forward, those guys.
Napoli, Benfica, Besiktas in Europa League. Barcelona, City, Borussia Mönchengladbach go into the Europa League. Celtic bottom, completely out of Europe.
Celtic did really well.
Go on the brand.
Let's just say that Pep was not able to beat Brendan Rodgers.
No.
So they're roughly
absolutely a fact. Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich, and Rostov. Monaco, Bayer Leverkusen, Spurs in the Europa League, as we mentioned. Dortmund topping the group because of the draw away to Madrid. Madrid second, Liga Warsaw in the Europa League. Leicester City topped their group. That was confirmed before the Porto game, which they lost 5-0. Porto came second. Copenhagen in the Europa League. Juventus first. They won 2-0 this past Wednesday. Sevilla in second. Lyon in the Europa League. And there we have it. All right, so let's move on to the teaser. So who's teaser, Dan?
Mine this week. So name since the Champions League started, name the 6 teams who won the tournament, who were unbeaten in every game. So from the first group game they had all the way to the final, not losing a game. There's 6 teams there's six times this was done, and it was done by 5 teams.
Okay, is this from like the European Cup?
Champions League. It's a 92-93 season.
Okay,
Barca?
Yeah, in what year do you think? Well, I'll give it to you. 06.
Okay. AC Milan.
94.
Ajax.
95.
Dortmund. Do you have this one?
Am I the only one who hasn't been on my phone the whole time?
That's a good point. No, I'm looking up
you
can see.
How many do we have left?
You have
United
99 and 08.
Okay, I've won.
Did I go twice?
I've won.
Yeah.
I've won.
You have one.
I won.
No, you missed one.
No, I got 3 though.
You have to get 93
more than me.
Well,
well, one of us will get 93. Who won the Champions League in 93?
Yeah.
Madrid.
It's the one team that everyone forgets.
Marseille?
Yes.
Marseille.
But Neil's teaser next week. Well done, Neil.
Yes.
Very good.
Okay.
You know your Champions League well.
You know your that Ajax team, that was obvious, right?
That 99 Man United team scored 31 goals in the Champions League. That's a lot of goals.
Yeah. It's amazing.
And that Milan team...
It was the treble year.
The Milan team in 94
year.
conceded 4 goals in the Champions League. I think they had Maldini and Baresi in half. Fuck, that's tough, like.
It is.
That
Okay.
Champions League sounds like it was worse than this one.
Goal of the week, Sanchez, for me.
Sanchez hat-trick was brilliant.
I'm giving it to John Walters.
All right.
Whether he meant it or not, it looked lovely.
I thought any of Chelsea's goals were great as well.
Plus,
Willian's goal. I said that Willian is an upgrade on Pedro. Dan made a good point saying, in fairness, like, you know, why, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But he did make such a difference, didn't he, when he came on?
Really good, and Chelsea are looking like the real deal at the moment.
Chelsea have the easiest fixtures now for a bit.
It's like, I was just looking at it today, and they're
winning the league. They've got 5 games in a row where you should actually be going. They should be getting 11, 12 points minimum. Yeah, 12 points minimum, probably.
Liverpool have West Ham this weekend.
They're not dropping points at all, full stop.
Liverpool have West Ham this weekend, and Middlesbrough, and then they have Everton City.
Coutinho, he's gone for the City game, isn't he?
He's gone for
yeah. Here of the week, Dan.
I think it was Fluminense, was it, who let Chapecoense have the cup in the end. So the UEFA Cup of the Brazil. So I'll give it to them. And also there was I'll give it to them. I think that was Sanchez got the hat trick. That was great. But I think that was a nice touch. Ronaldinho's coming out of retirement to play for them.
I thought that wasn't happening.
Yeah, I heard that wasn't true.
Is it true? I
he
think
says Johnson said he'd play,
and as did Riquelme.
So there's a few of them, which is good. Like, at least the football.
And Barcelona said they'd give them a fixture in the new camp. So
Yeah.
Well, it's great to see football reacting so well to it.
What's going on, by the way? There's more fucking tax evasions going on as we get Neymar, Ronaldo, and Mourinho.
Yeah, the Neymar what is going really on? Bad.
Yeah,
it's do you know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. Because if you've that much money, obviously you get taxed a lot. But the point is, you have enough money that even if you get taxed, it's not going to affect you having any kind of lifestyle you want. So what it is, it's just bad management.
Yeah, that's what Messi.
They're hiring people that are taking advantage.
I've always said that these guys are going, look, do the accounts. I know nothing about it. There's fucking 100 grand. Do them and do them in a week. And they're probably taking shortcuts, whatever they can do, and go sign off on that grand. He signs off on it.
That's it.
Do you think Messi, Mourinho, Ronaldo, or Neymar knows anything about tax and accounting?
Mourinho surprises me as someone who would let
Mourinho
that happen.
might know because he's got I think it's a master in psychology. So
it's more so the fact that I can imagine Mourinho being very meticulous about everybody he pays.
Neymar has a degree.
No, of course. Well, look, of course.
But I'm saying, so I hopefully common sense for all those guys can be put. Like that's Ronaldo, Messi, everyone included. That things go on.
Your hero of the week, John?
Hang on. Sorry. I'm trying to think. This South Africa keeper. Sure, we've all seen this clip.
Oh, the goal! Yeah, you tweeted, didn't you?
I did.
Why did he have a?
Oh Jesus! Yeah, the bicycle.
The bicycle. Well, I loved it, but it was also I would almost call match fixing because he had a prepared celebration. And like, what sort of the
parachute dance?
Yeah, he had a bit of a parachute dance going on. I'm like, how on earth did you expect yourself to score? Unless he's been expecting to do it like for years and years.
Yeah.
But I thought it was
Chilivert or Roger Cheney.
That's a lot, you know? As football moments go, it's pretty good.
Awesome. And spoofer of the week, Dan.
I think Aguero, because this is his second time he's done it this season. He's going to be suspended now for 7 games, and he usually misses maybe 5 or 6 of these games from injury as well.
At least.
Apparently, their main man, I think it was so bad. And David Luiz, a lot of people don't like him, but to be fair, he did make a big deal of it, and he got up and he did his interview, and he didn't milk it like.
He's also had a fucking spectacular second run at Chelsea. This can't be denied.
Conte's probably just believed in him. It's like, stop making mistakes. Stop playing out stupidly from the back.
No doubt that he has the physical attributes, and with the right manager.
Like the weakness is Cahill in that defense.
Yeah. John, your spoofer of the week.
The German team St. Pauli announced their new manager, but for some reason he couldn't make it. And what they call all the press over, and they organize a press conference. So instead of delaying it for all the photos, they just put a bloke in a mask.
No way. That's it.
That has to be the best. What division are these guys in?
I have no idea.
That is literally the most incredible thing. Dan,
that's brilliant.
I need someone to send that to me. That's the thumbnail. Forget it. Yeah.
So I saw this. I was in the gym and I was going through Twitter and I saw it and I lost my mind.
It's almost as good as Gökhan Ilner come out in a lion. Remember he dressed up as a lion?
Who's this?
Gökhan Ilner, when he joined Napoli?
Yeah.
He dressed up as a lion. He was like, we've got a big footballer coming in, and then like he comes in and dresses as a lion. It's like, who is it? It's Ilner. And then the whole of Napoli stadium was full waiting for this. That's only Gökhan Ilner. It's like, Premier League winner.
Jumping over to the fantasy before we finish up. Reg's in last place. Tommy, Becky,
usual suspects.
Raj 14th. Rob Normal's gone up to 13th. Noel down to 12.
What's going on with Noel and Neil?
Look, I'm not going to make excuses, but I'm an idiot. I'm in 11th. Ronan O'Reilly. Yeah, like I just keep forgetting. I keep forgetting.
Moose is still in your team, and Vardy.
I made a change in 4 weeks. I'm an idiot. I keep forgetting.
Gerrard's still captain.
You must have about 47 subs.
Yeah. Ronan O'Reilly in 10th.
I had a disastrous week.
Regis in 9th. Shane Lahart in 8th. Dan down to 7th. You're out at the Champions League.
I was 2 points behind top.
Oh week. Man alive. Darren Hillard in 6th. Dave Nolte in 5th.
Top.
Oh God! Stephen Vincent, James Byrne had 1 week of glory. John Carroll in 2nd.
What? John?
But
Leeds in Championship.
But to be fair,
get out of there.
28 points ahead of him is Kenny Murphy.
Kenny Murphy had Sanchez as like captain or whatever.
Oh, so no. Okay, well there we go.
Aguero got me -4 for the second time this season.
If you enjoy the show, please log on to Facebook/ITK Soccer Show. You can also get us at ITK Soccer Show on Twitter. Spread the word. YouTube is where you'll get the archives, ITK Soccer Show. And we've been pretty good on schedule doing a show at least once a week. So if you know somebody who has an hour of their lives they like to dedicate to a free football podcast, please let them know about it. And we will talk to you again next time.